What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Oshi no Ko, this time of episode 7 of season 2, I think. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, but last week was another fantastic episode, specifically focusing on Melt, which I thought was brilliant. He was due a redemption, and he very much redeemed himself with some big payoffs at the end of last week's episode. So I love the fact that, again, he just kind of poured himself into one direction rather than trying to improve his whole game. He just poured like all his stat points in like one area. So yeah, loved that scene last week. Loving this season in general, to be honest. It's been absolutely brilliant so far. But do let me know what you guys think about this episode down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with these weekly reactions. And let's get straight into it. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to not be anything other than great, to be honest with you. You guys know these storylines and such are my favourite from the series, so it'd be interesting to see what the second half has in store for us. Hopefully, maybe some Ruby kind of idol stuff. That is one thing about this show. I don't think we've seen enough of Ruby's storyline so far. But I don't mind that because, again, as I've said, my favourite moments are like stuff like this that we're covering. And I think this episode is going to be absolute banger as well, being the climax of the play. I really do like the symbolism in that shot there in the opening as well. With them jumping off the building. Fatale. Does that say Fatale, does it? I've never actually read the subtitles. They say Fataru, which I guess is just like the Japanese way of saying Fatale. I want to see the guy with the glasses. I want to see more of his scenes. Bro. That is awesome, isn't it? She's so good at actually helps the others. Doesn't make them look bad. I don't know, are the audience meant to be very quiet? I guess they probably are, especially in Japan, as a respect thing. You see cinema culture and such going kind of down the drain nowadays, don't you? So I was just saying, like America or something, you'd hear like a big cheer or something like that. Here she is. Looking beautiful. This is maybe the most risky part. The movement alone. Oh shit. Here we go. Oh, that's a really cool transition. I like that. It's crazy. How does this work, bro? What the fuck? How does these transitions work? It looks really cool. But like they're running, but they're moving backwards. What? I don't get how this works. It's cool as fuck. That's the guy with the glasses, I think, isn't it? Though it looks so different. Again, how the hell did they just... Crazy. Oh boy. The grudge match. One of you's got to lose, though. I mean, they're talking in terms of their acting, but yeah. in the story, one of you does have to lose. Flashback. Oh, there she is, little Anna. Again. Backstory, one of my favourite things of season 1. Seeing her child acting experience. That little pip up. Might they? I think it's almost actually better that they became rivals rather than friends. I think that almost kind of speaks to fucking hell, the eye animation in the show really is just insane, isn't it? Yeah, it almost speaks as to how far she's come, that she's actually her rival. rather than like an acquaintance. Two very opposing kind of ideologies to acting as well, kind of going at it. You guys know my thoughts about child acting and such. I feel like, yeah, if they want to do it and such, it's fine. But I feel like a lot of the time, parents really do push for a child to have a certain job in the future, like being an actor, and I don't know. I feel like some things, as we saw with Canada, some things are just awful. You've got to be an adult. You've got to grow up and be an adult really early on in your life, and I think that's slightly unfair. Slightly very unfair, especially if forced to. That's not just acting, that goes with athletes and such as well. You do see a lot of like top athletes and such are trained from very early on in their life. Same with acting, same with models, I imagine. It's... Yep. It's weird, isn't it? It's like she's talking to an adult right now. Little girl. Just, what's the point? Keep up appearances. Like, what the fuck? I think that's why she's so emotional. They do say don't ever meet your idols. They do say that. Like I said, when you are, this is no dig at Can or anything, but with what I said earlier, again, I always find it so interesting. That's why I love this story a lot. When they say don't meet your idols, I think they are specifically talking about there's plenty of lovely people out there who are like in the top 1% of actors and athletes and such. But like I said, a lot of them are engineered in a way that they are like born kind of winners in terms. Obviously not born, they're manufactured that way, but they're like their thoughts have been streamlined into being in that 1%. So they're like extremely competitive, extremely emotional about what they do, and they'll do anything to win and work so much to win. It's like it's not a major shock that a lot of these people are kind of terrible human beings. Like they won't do anything like terrible. They won't do a terrible act per se, but just as a person, when your whole personality is built around being the best and such, I feel like there is again, there's plenty of lovely people that I like that, but I think more than not there is you could disregard other people's feelings and such, and like in this interaction we see with Kana here, and she's still very young, but she is a young lady. It's the scary thing, she's actually had to become a lady at such a young age, but she is still young. She like lashes out like this, and I imagine you might get this quite a bit where when you do meet your idol and such, they are actually, you realise, oh, you know what, they couldn't give a fuck, they're actually a terrible person, you know, I don't really like them. I feel like sayings and such like that obviously come from somewhere, don't they? Like there's always some truth to rumours, and as bad as it sounds, like stigmas against certain people, white people, black people, there's always kind of certain truths to what's been said. Don't get me wrong, you can go very much off the deep end with a lot of it, and that's where you do get into like racist territory and such, but sexist territory, but again there's inevitable kind of truths to people's initial thoughts and such. Like if I was to say a Russian people are aggressive, mostly Russian people are aggressive. Not all of them. There's always exceptions. Yeah, harsh truths of things, unfortunately. And yeah, you could obviously see with Kana, she obviously very passionate about acting, and that's why she had that emotional reaction. And she was speaking to a kid around her age, but she needed to realise, like, this is Akane is actually a kid that hasn't really known the truths of the industry and such just yet. Yeah, exactly. And that very much comes through in her acting, doesn't it? Also, just before we go any further, apologies for another pause, guys. I do just want to make absolutely sure I have turned the music back on. I have, good. I mean, a little bit too late, so I shouldn't have really even bothered looking. But yeah, sorry guys. Sometimes I forget to turn the music back on. I'm just now thinking I'm probably going to get copyright these OSTs. I mean, she has a good point here, Kane. I like both styles, to be honest with you. Again, I love the fact that Kana actually amplifies others. But I do like this as well. Standout performance. Okay. Let's see it, Kana. Fucking eyes, bro. Man, there was so much fucking effort into a lot of stuff in this show, but the eyes, like, especially. Yeah, you could tell that from far away. She was the biggest kind of presence from that scene in the back, wasn't she? Fucking out. And she's flying as well. Can't see the wires quite as much this time. Which I think is actually a pretty good choice. Although I liked being able to see those last week as well. A bit more realism to the performance. Oh man. That was a lovely transition. Back to being a little kid. Maybe you should do that as well, Kana. Have a bit of a childhood that you didn't really get. Just do it, just jump off. Take that step. Serviceable. Oh, this may be why I like Kana so much. I do relate to her in this regard quite a bit. I do feel like she should vary it up. Like, again, I like both styles, but you should also like have a bit of both, if you know what I'm saying. I'm no expert on any of this. No expert at all. So I'm probably just talking nonsense, but I I'm not. Ah dear. Sure, funny enough, she's actually in quite a good state of mind for what this scene is. Again, sometimes you need that. Like I said, but 1% need to have thoughts and such like that. So we really want to be the best at something. Oh, is this not a scene? It was framed differently. I guess this is behind stage or something. course. Yeah, this is behind the scene. Okay. I was like, oh, she's in a crying scene. That's actually pretty perfect for where her mind's at right now. And I was expecting us to finish this play today, but it looks like we've got another episode, which is awesome. Fantastic episode today, though, isn't it? Again, a little bit of Kana backstory, a little bit more Akane backstory here, which was awesome. And obviously seeing those kind of interact and come together, I thought was really cool. Again, just two, and just like the classic meeting your idol story, and it just not being what you'd hope. Everything, I'd say everything kind of being a lie, but her getting like almost like a taste of Kana's world in that kind of harsh truth, which kind of came out with her. But again, I love this like battle of the ideologies of acting. Like I said, I don't really know fuck all about it. I can't really comment too much on it, but I find it brilliant. And yeah, I said we were going to have the climax today. It looks like we're actually going to have the climax next week. So that's awesome. Oh shit, I've still got the sound on. Again, I've probably already been copyrighted anyway, so no big deal. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Another fantastic episode today, following last week's and following this whole season so far, to be honest with you. Loved it. Seeing Kana, again, the two best girls of the series, which is interesting. You always hear Kana and Akane, but you never really hear Ruby spoken about too much in that conversation, do you? Strangely, you would have thought it should be, well, not too strange considering what we've seen from the anime. Again, we really haven't. I think we've actually got more of Kana and Akane than we have of Ruby so far. So I guess it's not actually that surprising. But you'd think with her being one of the main characters, it would be surprising. But yeah, fantastic episode, animation as usual, and production, soundtrack, and everything as usual. Absolutely insane. The story was really good. Seeing again how Akane's kind of early life and how she got into acting, which again I thought was actually quite a nice way to get into acting. Like I said, most of the time I think parents kind of push their. I especially really hate. I think it's like beauty pageants and shit like that, where like mothers put hundreds of hours of makeup on their daughter to make them look pretty as like a 6-year-old girl, and it's just like, one, it's quite weird, but two, it's just like forcing your child into that area. I mean, they might be guaranteed success for the rest of their life, but you're almost doing that more for yourself as a parent than you're doing that for your kids' kind of own benefit and well-being. I've given my thoughts on that quite a lot of times throughout the show, because this show covers stuff like that really well. And again, I love that interaction between Akane and Kana we did get in the middle of the episode. It was a bit of a shame, wasn't it, to be honest, the fact that Kana didn't take that step off the edge there and again kind of give it her all and act for herself rather than acting to kind of enhance the performance. So again, I like the styles of both, but again, I do relate a little bit to that in terms of like taking a step back and letting kind of others shine and trying to help other people rather than kind of standing out more yourself. I've never been someone that wants to really stand out or anything, to be honest with you. So but I just wish you just wish she does take that step, don't you, and that they can kind of battle out head to head with at the best of their abilities. But yeah, fantastic episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this one down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. I'm back next week with episode whatever it is. So yeah, see you guys then, and enjoy the rest of your day.